afternoon, grubbers. Welcome to another episode of Garage Grubbin', where we endeavor to turn out really good videos in the garage. Today is a special episode because we're getting into the holiday mood, fast approaching, and it's that time of year. It's very special. I think I can smell fresh cut spruce in the air, maybe a tinge of cinnamon. I almost feel like I can smell a fresh baked, pecan pie. It's probably sitting in Mrs. Lombardi's window, kitchen window that's wide open, and the breezes are blowing through, and the fragrances are wafting out through the neighborhood. Can't you just get there? Isn't that I'm there. It's wonderful. So today we're going to put together a recipe that I've made for many years. Normally I bake these wonderful morsels and give them away to friends and family, and then are promptly cajoled. They want the recipe, which I will not divulge. And I don't really know why that is. There's a big truck. We're in the garage, of course, and very busy today. What's Saturday? No, it's not. It's Tuesday. Oh my holidays, In any event, we're gonna make candied pecans. They're not only fun to make, they're really easy to make, and they're really good to eat. The recipe is in keeping with our mandate to have 5 ingredients or less. Now, we also have a rule that you're well aware of, certainly, where we can overrule that rule if that extra ingredient really adds something special. And so today we're gonna break the rule, violate it once again, actually, and have 6 ingredients in our candied pecans. So let's quit talking about it and let's start making and baking in the garage. Before we get started, let me just make a couple comments on candied pecans. I've tried many recipes over the years, and uniformly and mostly I've been disappointed that they come out kind of soft. And to me, a great candy, it's hard to say, candied pecan is really crunchy. It's really crunchy. And that's why the ones that you buy in the store just are lacking, because for whatever reason they can't make them, package them, and put them on the shelf in Walmart and have them maintain that crunch. What I've discovered over the years after sauteing them in pans and then oven baking them and this way and that way and whatever, I've found that the best way to make them is in my toaster oven in the garage. But there's a technique that you've got to follow, and it takes an hour, 1 hour of attention and a little manipulation of the nuts along the way to get them to that perfect crunch that is truly addicting. And this is why people at Christmas and Thanksgiving would chase me about the house to get this recipe. It's the crunch. So pecans, tomatoes, call it what you want. These are candied, they're killer, and once you make them and you try them, you'll be harassed as I am every holiday season. Okay, let's go. Step 1, toaster oven baking pan, well used, has a nice patina. Nothing sticks to this pan, but that doesn't matter because I'm gonna put in spray oil, just a shot. Just a shot. It's insurance. It's a safety net in case something goes awry. Take your dry ingredients, wet ingredients. Now, this is the most vigorous part of the recipe. You take your wet ingredients, you pour them on the dry ingredients. Okay? And you take your spoon and you mix, and you're going to think that it's not really doing anything. Let me get arranged here. And you're going to say, oh, there's not enough water, there's not enough this, we're missing something. But no, you're not. It's like brownies. You know how you make brownies and when you first put the egg and the water in, you think, oh my gosh, this is a disaster, it's so dry. And then this bizarre chemical process occurs, which is beginning to occur here, and you can see that your nuts are starting to get moist and shiny because that special chemical process with the egg white and the water is starting to kick in. So just keep mixing and mixing, and you know, take your time. This is fun. You know, I've got a bad elbow, so I'm gonna rest for a few seconds. Well, it really is screwed up. We're just gonna keep this mixing, and it's not gonna be real wet. You don't want it real wet. You just want it thoroughly blended. So we're gonna take a break here. Oh, there goes one. There's always one on the garage floor, and that one went underneath the bench. I'm gonna have to get my grabber and poke around under there before the mice find it. Okay, so I've mixed these thoroughly, and as you can see now, they're very uniformly moist and covered with the sugary special blend of secret ingredients. And now what we're going to do is spread about half of this bowl in this pan. Now, if you maybe have a more deluxe garage than I do, and you have a regular oven, you might have a regular sized pan. And in that event, you'll be able to take the whole pound of pecans and spread them. It's critical that they do not pile. They need to be spread uniformly. And I don't mean one nut per inch or something, but you don't want layers. That's the critical point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take about half of these, because I'm gonna make 2 batches, and throw them on the pan, which has been lightly oiled, and just spread them around. How hard is this? How hard is this? Okay, now, oh, lost one. They like to get away. So, we are in good shape here. Now, I know this may seem complicated, but it's really not. I have heated my trusty toaster oven to 250, okay? Preheated. I'm gonna take my pan of secret recipe candy pecans and put it in the, excuse me, wrong rack. The center rack. In the center rack, okay? It's on 250, and I'm gonna put the timer on for 15 minutes. And then what I'm gonna do is come back, and I'm gonna take my spatula, and I'm gonna turn them over and move them around. And I'm gonna do that again for 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna take them out and take my spatula and move them around. And I'm gonna do it again in 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna do it one more time.
So the total time at 250 is 1 hour. And you need to manipulate the nuts every 15 minutes.
You'll know you're doing it right if every time you manipulate the nuts, they're getting a little drier, a little less shiny, and a little crispier. And you'll find as you turn them and move them around, they start to rattle a little bit. The first time you're gonna think, oh, this isn't working. The second time you'll think, maybe it is working. The third time you're gonna say, this is really working. And then the fourth time, after 1 hour, you won't even believe how good these are, okay? They're gonna be super crunchy. And then you just let them rest and cool, and then just try to keep the neighbors away. It's not gonna be easy. I have to say, like everybody in these cooking shows, that it's a disclosure that everyone's oven is different. It is. Everybody's toaster oven's different. Everybody's garage is different. So in that event, if after an hour they're still not snappy crunchy like you want them, give them another 15 minutes. It's not hard. The key is 250. The temperature is critical. The temperature is critical because you don't want to burn the nuts. I've done it. It's not pretty. And one other tip. When you look at these in the bowl, as you're stirring them, you're gonna want to eat them like that, but don't, because there's raw egg in there. I mean, you know, Rocky Balboa can eat raw eggs, but I don't recommend it. I'm not. So don't dip in. It's not like raw cookie dough. I mean, that's not even supposed to be eaten unless they put it in ice cream, but I don't really know how that makes it any different. In any event, don't eat the raw nuts. Bake them, okay? Don't want to get sick on Christmas. 15 minutes is up. So we're ready for the first flip. Stir, call it what you want. Let me take our spatula. Now I know they look great already, don't they? No, they do look great, but they're not done. Now you just come in with a spatula and just turn them over. Now you don't have to flip it's not pancakes. Okay, oh see, we already did that. You don't have to worry about, meticulously flipping every single nut over. What the key is just moving them around, mixing them up so they at least think they've been flipped, and make sure again that you don't have piles. So you want to just a little tap here and there and kind of move them around. Now they're mushy, they're lousy. They're like, who would want to eat these things? I mean, I can get these at the local gas station like that. Okay, so we're going to go back in the oven for how long? 15 minutes. Bingo. See you in 15. Getting ready for the third stir. Coming out. Oh, you hear that? You hear that? You see? They're starting to rattle. This is getting really, really to the special place where we want to be. Now you can't even flip them. They're just flying all over the place. Oh yeah. Just takes time. Unfortunately, this recipe requires 1 hour of your attention. You can't take off. You can't, take a nap. Well, you can take a 15-minute nap. Okay, we're going back in. And this is, let's see, 1, 2, third round. Yeah, we're looking here. Oh boy. See, they're jumping. That means they're almost there. So once again, we're gonna stir them around again. At this point, the stirring is not that critical. As you can see, they're very happy, and I'm not sure I'm really doing much of anything here, but that's the final stir. Is you're going back in for the final 15 minutes, and you can see how they're coming along and looking really good. See? Oh yeah. If you're not doing that after 3 flips, you got a problem. You did something wrong. You didn't follow the instructions. Okay, we're gonna give them another 15 and let them cool and start to munch. Okay, the time's up. So we're going to turn off the toaster oven and pull these nuts out and see how we're doing here. At this point, you don't want to drop them. Okay, this is the test. Hear that? If they don't do that, if they don't rattle, you forgot something. You did something wrong. You didn't follow the mandates. Those are beautiful. Now I can't eat them now. We can't test them because they're hot they're very hot. Let them cool, and regardless of what you do with them, if they last more than a few hours and you want to put them in a container or you wanted to freeze them, that's fine, but make sure they're stone cold. If they're warm and you put them in a container and then freeze them, you get condensation and then you lose the crunch. But wow, that's what I think, in my opinion, a really beautiful candied pecan sounds like. Well, I've let them cool for about 10 minutes, and we have to try one to make sure if this tedious hour slaving with a toaster oven in the garage has been worth it. So let's pick up one and see. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. I don't know if you can hear the crunch. Let me do one more. I'll get a little closer. Oh. Exceptional. Get it together. Get your pecans, handful of ingredients, get out in the garage, get to work. What you do is you put these in little bags, little cellophane bags with a little red bow, tie it off, give them to your friends and family. You'll be gold for another year. Trust me. Thanks for joining today on this Tuesday, not Saturday. And let's do some more garage grubbing real soon. I got some other things I'm working on.